so it was just called a foul there. And because the referee called it before it went into the goal, it's not considered a goal scoring opportunity. So that's why I didn't get reviewed for Maguire. When the foul on De Gea, like the non-foul on De Gea, was way worse than what Maguire did to Ramsdale.
Yeah.
So it just absolutely ridiculous. And then,
but even then though, there's
it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse,
no. But
it's just so inconsistent. And then another thing is with the offside rule. How come sometimes referees will put up their flag immediately when it's tight, and then other times it's so clear that the player is off, but they keep playing it? It's like so inconsistent.
You're talking about the City game?
Well, a City game and like Liverpool against Everton, right? Mane was like literally a con hair offside, and the referee puts up his offside flag, and he was like his boot was literally just barely behind I think Godfrey or whoever was marking him at that point, right?
Yeah.
But then against United, Maguire had stepped forward, and I think it was McGoldrick was like at least 3 yards offside, right?
Yeah.
The referee didn't put up the flag. Like, it's so clear he is offside, and you're not putting up the flag. But then Mane, the referee was on the opposite side of the field and put up his flag. Like, really? There's no point in even having a linesman, because if the play goes on, you'd have the VAR guy just tell you, hey, he was way offside, and then you can call it.
You literally that too. Yeah,
you don't need a linesman.
Not anymore. No.
If you're using that how detailed with those lines, there's literally no point for a linesman anymore.
No, at all. And I'm to the point where I think every single offsides accusation should be checked. If they're going to do it as tight as they have been, and if they're going to be as critical as they have been, let's check every single one, because and then you were talking about with City last week. With City, that was ridiculous. That was. I mean, for her to call it that bad offside, she was looking at the center backs, and there was a fullback 10 yards behind.
Yeah,
I mean, it's.
And then, are you talking about when City scored?
When she threw up the flag, City scored, and all the everybody else on who were they playing?
I think it was Villa, right? Yeah, it was against Villa.
Yeah, everybody in Villa was like, "All right, hey, plays over."
Yeah.
No,
it wasn't. Villa. No, it wasn't. It was it must have been West Brom. Because I know she was the same referee for City.
Yeah.
When I think it was on the first goal, where I think it was Jesus or someone was miles.
It was West Brom. It was. Yeah.
It was miles offside.
Right.
And then the City player heads it, and then he comes back in from offside into play and challenges for the ball, and the flag doesn't go up for that. Well, and then they check with VAR, and it's like he was offside. Like, that is by law
in the City rule. Game. No, he was onside.
No. I'm talking about 2 weeks ago when City played Villa for their first goal. If you look at it, Jesus or whoever it was like 20 yards offside. The ball gets headed by a City player in the midfield, and he comes all the way back and challenges Tyrone Mings for it. And Mings stops.
Yeah.
And Mings stops because he's way offside, and they keep playing. But it's like, how more offside did he have to be?
Dude, in the press conference, they asked Pep, they were like, so what if that happened to you? He goes, I mean, I'd be mad as shit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, but, all right, so anyway, with the City game last week, though, what irritates the shit out of me is that when a linesman throws his flag up,
or her,
you have faith that they made the right call because they're the one watching that. That's their only job. That's their only job. Yeah.
And they don't even get that.
Right. And so when that does go up and you're a defender, you're thinking they have my best interest in mind. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I mean, everybody stops when they see the flag go up because you're positive that the flag goes up. Another thing that bothers me is how the center ref didn't blow the whistle immediately. If a linesman throws a flag up,
you're supposed to call it. And then, but then there's that whole miscommunication where the referee has to still let the play go on and see what happens.
I understand.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't know why he has to though, because when he does see that flag, he should be calling. If he's behind the play and he's not seeing the line, how does he have jurisdiction to ignore the call being made?
I agree.
Yeah. So,
but it's because the linesmen aren't even supposed to put up their flag. But
then what are they doing?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Paying them?
There is literally no point in them being there. Because, again, it's like that inconsistency. How can you say someone who is just barely offside, you put your flag up for, but when someone is literally 5 yards offside, you just let it go, it like plays out?
But this is a different thing, though. He was on sides. She should have never put the flag up.
Oh, did the referee call it when she put the flag up?
No.
Oh, and everyone stopped. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because if and that's why I don't get how the center ref is like, no, it's not offsides. I'm behind the play. I can see it.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. I don't see how he has a better purview of the field than she does when she's the one watching the line.
Dude.
So I mean, they both fucked up, but it's almost like they gave City a goal. It's almost like it was orchestrated because why the hell else wouldn't you call it when a flag goes up? You call it.
Yeah.
And then you VAR check it afterwards, and if it's a free kick for them, I don't know how you resolve that. Maybe you get a better AR.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Or you go to all your referees all at the same time and be like, this is when you raise your flag, this is when you don't raise your flag. And then if they raise the flag, technically, if they do raise the flag, the center ref is supposed to let the play go because VAR is there and the players are supposed to know that. But I agree. If a sideline ref puts up the flag, because that's another inconsistent thing. The sideline ref will put up the flag sometimes, and the referee calls it immediately. But then another time, the sideline ref will pull up the flag, and the referee still says keep the play going. It literally depends on what referee you have, or like the group of referees you have per game.
Dude, I'm under the impression if the AR throws a flag up, that's a whistle.
It should be called. Yeah,
that's a whistle every time. Every time. But what bothers me is that right after that was done, the commentators were just like choking on this girl's cock. Like she's been so good all season. She's a wonderful AR, but there's no accountability for a female ref. So if we're going to, it's like, well, was her call right just because she's a woman? It was wrong.
Yeah.
It was actually wrong. So, I mean, like, play it fairly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because if it was a dude ref, they'd be ripping that guy up and down about, and especially the media too.
What is weird, though, is that, like, they really don't go into referees like that. Like, if a referee makes a bad decision, like a terrible, terrible decision, they'll just be like, I think the referee got it wrong there, but then that's the end of it. But, like, you don't see referees getting, like, I mean, because they're not the ones who are making the money, but, like, they're technically they are, because they're giving the Premier League all these views and all this controversy. But I don't know how more referees, like Mike Dean might be the worst referee I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's still a referee today is completely and utterly, like...
Well, you can... He gets flustered when he's refereeing. This is what I've seen.
Against the big team, when a big match,
against any of them, because as soon as somebody bitches about the call that he makes, he'll make it for them the next play.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's very like
he's very up and down, hot and cold with the teams.
He's very emotional. Like if you yell at him the next play that you do something wrong, you're getting a card.
Yeah. Or if you yell at him and you're like, hey, you did this wrong, he'll help you out next play. He's not a down the line referee at all.
And then there's also this thing where I think, I mean, this as a United fan, I've seen this for years and years, but like the bigger players or like the more well-known players get away with so much more than like a lesser team. Like Thiago against United had about 15 tackles that he should have got a yellow card for. Didn't get one. Fred comes on for 5 minutes, makes the exact same tackle that Thiago did 2 minutes before, and gets
Thiago. I mean,
like
for them
it
to
is
praise
so
him that
crazy.
Hard, like, and they were bragging about how he makes it sounds different. What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
What the actual fuck does that mean?
I have heard this from like players and coaches throughout the years that they say that if you there's a Barcelona coach. And he said that whenever he was doing the, there's this drill that they do where there's two people in the middle and they pass it around, right? Or there's like a circle of guys, they pass around two people. Rondo, yeah, that's it. So the coach of Barcelona said, I don't have to look at them do it because I can hear the way that they're passing the ball. And if it pings, then they're passing it well. And if it doesn't ping, then they're not using the correct form or technique or whatever, which I understand that from that perspective from a coach. But when you're a commentator who sits way up in the stands, how can you honestly say that you hear that ping when Thiago does it and it sounds completely different than when another player does?
Well, not only that, but out of the abundance of world-class players in the Premier League, he's the only one that can pass like that.
I know. But the thing
is... Or the first.
And the thing is, his range...
Insane.
Like, Thiago, when it comes to, like, short passing, I think, is probably better than Pogba. But Pogba's long-range passing, I don't think there's a player in the world right now that could equal that.
He and De Bruyne are the only two.
I still think Pogba's is different than De Bruyne's though.
All right, Pogba is better at lofting.
Yeah,
long balls.
De Bruyne is better with on the on the ground. Yeah. But because when Pogba plays those long balls, like against Spurs, I think it was when Ollie first took over as United manager, when Pogba just on the turn knew Rashford was running, volleyed it straight onto Rashford's foot. Yeah, like I don't like.
Oh, I mean they practiced that.
But still, there's no player in the world that could play that ball, other than Paul Pogba. And dude, I have been his a very big critic of him in the past, because what he's been doing the past couple of weeks is what could have been doing. I expected from him the entire time, and that's why I was so pissed off with it.
Dude, I think his best year was when we had Ibra and Mkhitaryan. Yeah, that might have been the best squad that we've had too. Yeah. But I mean, his gameplay in that was insane. But you also had Herrera and Carrick behind you then too, so it was a different kind of. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted with Carrick and Herrera behind you.
I think he might stay. Well, I think there's a potential for him to stay now.
Fabrizio was saying that it's
Mino
is 50-50. Like with Mino being a factor, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Because Mino's trying to get him out, and unless he gets a new agent, he's not going to.
Yeah, because Mino wants that money for him to go somewhere, but
he's too far in to drop Mino though. Like they're buddies, like they're actual friends. Like, he's not going to drop Mino.
And then the thing with that he had to tweet about Zlatan not being racist. It's like, okay, Paul, we all know that you're friends with Zlatan, and like it's good that you're defending him, but all the memes that were out there of it was like Mino Raiola holding the gun to Pogba's head saying that you need to tweet this was fucking hilarious.
I don't think Zlatan's racist though.
No, he's not. I mean, it had nothing to do with race. It was literally like Lukaku said something about Zlatan's wife.
Zlatan would have started it.
And then, I know. But it started because at the beginning of the game, Zlatan told Lukaku, "For every good touch you have, I'll give you $500." Yeah. But then he did,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, which is because I mean they both played with each other at United, so like they know each other.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think when you are teammates, Lukaku should have known that Ibra's going to talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Ibra knows how to push your buttons. Like he played with you for a full year. Yeah. He knows everything that pisses you off.
And obviously, you're 27 and still don't have a touch. And so that's on you.
Exactly. Obviously, your first touch is something very sensitive to you.
Yeah.
And then I will say, Zlatan towed a very thin line whenever he said "do that voodoo shit." But it was a direct quote from, I think, Lukaku or Lukaku's agent from whenever he left Everton to go to United. And that's why Zlatan said it. But people were saying that was racist.
Of course. Which is the loosest string you can
I completely agree. It was a very thin line. Because if
it weren't a quote.
Yeah. It probably... It's pretty bad. But since...
if there's
you have to bring in the context.
Yeah.
And then, Odegaard signing for Arsenal. That's a really good signing. I think...
Where's he playing?
Yeah, that's the thing. If Smith Rowe is in, I don't think you play Odegaard over him unless you know that Odegaard is going to sign fully in the summer. I don't think you start. Like, why?
Odegaard is the same ilk of... He's not... They obviously have different like discrepancies in their gameplay, but he is of the same ilk as Ziyech, to where like he's either a good 10 or he's a playmaking
left
11.
Man.
Yeah. Or right mid. He's left-footed. Even Rodriguez too. They're both that kind of like, they're not pacey wingers, but they're really good playmakers. And you can put him on the right, he can set it up.
Well, I mean,
and with Aubameyang coming in off the left, or Saka, whoever, he'll just be pinging balls.
And that's the only thing I can think of is either you bring him in for rotation and depth for now, and then
for at least the first 2 weeks, he's going to break in above whoever. He's Odegaard. He's going to break in above whoever else is competing for those positions.
Yeah, because I mean, right now I don't think you can drop Saka.
You'd be a fool too. Yeah. I mean, like, he carried that team this whole season.
I don't think you can drop Smith Rowe.
I wouldn't.
Lacazette has been scoring, and Aubameyang is your team captain. So I don't, unless you're gonna bite the bullet and drop Aubameyang, who's been the most out of form of all those players. I don't see Odegaard coming in unless he just comes in for Smith Rowe, which I don't think Arsenal should do, because why would you bring, unless you know he's going to sign for you full time in the summer, there's no point in letting Odegaard play over Smith Rowe and letting Odegaard get more reps than Smith Rowe.
The way Odegaard's been talking, and I don't know if Arsenal's the mainstay, but he is trying to leave Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it could be, if he does like Arsenal